I want to talk a little bit about my experiences in those years working in primarily the office sector, mostly on the east side, and how that relates to our theme today of bigger deals, bigger companies making more money. But the thing about big deals is that even though there may be a big payout associated with it, my experience is that that road is long and windy and it's littered with potholes and landmines along the way that trump you up in doing the deal. And so our job as brokers or people that are involved in the transaction is to keep it on task. I wanted to mention, just thinking about what it takes to get the big deal together, is it's really a long road, and it's about perseverance and staying the course. And so I'm reminded of my early days in the brokerage industry. I worked for a company. One of my clients at that time was Quadrant Corporation, which was a subsidiary of the Weyerhaeuser Group. And Quadrant Commercial was doing build-to-suits and building office buildings and flex buildings all over the marketplace. And so we were working for them on stuff on Willows Road in Redmond, and had good success. And they awarded that success to us by giving us the opportunity to work on Redmond Ridge. And so if anybody knows Redmond Ridge, if you've been out that way, it's a pretty thriving community now. In 1999, there was 6 houses in Redmond Ridge. There was no industrial or office that was built. There was no Trilogy, no golf course, no retail, no nothing. It was really pioneering. So it was a long road, trying to get down the path on that. 2 years and no deals, and then they thought we were doing such a great job, they awarded us with the listing opportunity on Snoqualmie Ridge, which again was kind of the similar thing. A little bit of a pioneering environment, not a lot happening out there. A lot of work and no payday. Summer of 2003, Weyerhaeuser decides we're shutting down Quadrant Commercial. And they're going to divest of all of the land, all of the buildings, and basically focus on housings. We're standing there with the exclusive right to lease and sell all of their real estate. And so that wasn't what we intended to do when we took the assignment on, but that's what we got. And the bottom line is that Weyerhaeuser wanted the stuff sold quickly in order to show it on their third quarter financials. And so we had deals together within 60 days. We sold the whole thing. 100 acres of land at Redmond Ridge, and 165 acres of land fully entitled at Snoqualmie Ridge. It was about a $30 million transaction. I would have never guessed when I started that that's where it would end, but we persevered, we stayed with it, stayed the course, and we were rewarded handsomely for that. So. Another thing that we run into is the whole idea of track the details. So I don't know how many of you experience this, but I experience it all the time, that my clients continually shoot themselves in the foot because they fail to keep track of details. They say things off the cuff that gets them into trouble. This one particular situation I'm thinking of, we were negotiating a 90,000-foot lease. And my client is the guy with the BlackBerry, and the letter of intent up there is the written document that the tenant had. It was 15 pages and about 50 different clauses within it. And so if you know anything about how negotiation works, it's sort of an incremental process, that you have a letter of intent, you make changes to it, the other side makes changes back, and you keep going back and forth, and it's just an incremental process down the road. The problem with this is that my client, the BlackBerry guy, would never read the written letter of intent. But he would look at his BlackBerry and kind of get the highlights of it. Well, 6 rounds into the negotiations, he sort of, for lack of better words, retraded the deal. And I told him that wouldn't be a mistake. I wouldn't do that if I was you. And he didn't like my answer, but he went ahead and did it anyway. 6 more rounds down the end, when it was now ready to close the deal, and they had a little issue with the transformer in the building that had to be replaced. Guess who got to buy the transformer? So the tenant remembered that little retrade and then kind of took it back. So the moral of the story there, if you're in the side of trying to keep the deal together, part of it is to keep track of the details. And that's one of the things that I think has made me successful in the business over the years, is tracking the details and trying to keep the parties on track as you go through. This is Tom Bohman. I'm with CBRE. Been in the industry about 25 years. I primarily do office leasing and sales activity, generally on the east side.
Great. And what are some of the things you've learned over the years about how to do the bigger deals and getting things done?
I think there's a number of things that apply, but a more strategic approach to getting the deal done, looking at the big picture, assessing the real estate itself, the economic terms, the whole issue with the people that are involved, and making sure that all those pieces line up as you start into that process, and then managing that process throughout.
So following up and staying on top of the personalities.
Follow up is really the key. Anticipating the problems and being proactive about them, I think, is really key. And just being available for your clients as they need and understanding what they want. Keep yourself focused on what the client wants and less worried about the money, because the money will come.
And last thing, you've been a broker a long time. What do you know about the CCIM organization?
Great organization. I think they provide a framework for training and industry expertise that I think is helpful. So especially for younger folks coming up into the industry, a great place to get involved, get to know the people, the connections, and get some good seminars.
Good way to get started, get the base knowledge, and then it helps you with presentation skills and things like that too.
Exactly.
Great. Well, thank you for coming today.
You bet.